Ashley Tisdale, best known for growing up in the Disney spotlight, published a personal essay on The Cut titled "Breaking Up with My Toxic Mom Group." In the essay, Ashley explains that she made the decision to step away from a close circle of friends after becoming a mother. She does not name anyone directly. Instead, she describes what she says felt like a slow and painful shift in the group dynamic. According to Ashley, the issue was not one argument or a single falling out. She writes about being excluded from side group chats, left out of plans, and realizing she was no longer invited to get-togethers. In some cases, she says she only found out these meetups happened after seeing photos posted online. Ashley describes this experience as feeling juvenile, comparing it to high school-style behavior. At one point, she says she sent a message to the group stating that the situation felt too high school for her. Shortly after that, she chose to remove herself from the group entirely. Once the essay went live, it spread quickly online, with fans debating what happened and why. And that is where the public reaction really began. After the essay was published, the reaction online moved fast. Readers immediately focused on the fact that Ashley did not accuse anyone of a specific act. She did not describe a fight, a confrontation, or a single triggering moment. Instead, she framed the situation as something gradual. Ashley wrote about noticing changes over time, messages slowing down, plans happening without her, and a growing sense that she was no longer part of the inner circle. Many fans pointed out that this kind of exclusion can be hard to explain, but easy to feel. In comment sections and forums, people shared similar experiences, especially among parent groups. Several said the essay resonated because it described something subtle rather than dramatic. Ashley also made it clear that the decision to leave was hers. She did not say she was forced out. She said she chose to step away once she realized the dynamic was no longer healthy for her. That distinction mattered to a lot of readers. Rather than positioning herself as a victim of a single person, Ashley framed the situation as a pattern that no longer aligned with her life. And as the conversation grew, attention began shifting away from the essay itself and toward what people could observe publicly. As the discussion continued, fans began looking at what was visible rather than what was implied. People noticed changes on social media that appeared to line up with the timing of the essay. Viewers pointed out that Ashley's Instagram following list had shifted. Some accounts were still followed. Others were no longer there. There were no announcements, no captions, and no direct explanations, just quiet changes that fans interpreted in different ways. At the same time, Ashley herself did not add anything further. She did not go live. She did not post follow-ups. She did not clarify who the essay was about. That silence became part of the story. Many readers said it felt intentional, as if Ashley wanted the essay to stand on its own without turning it into an ongoing public argument. Others felt the lack of clarification invited speculation, even if that was not her intention. What remained consistent was Ashley's framing. She did not describe anyone as cruel or malicious. She described the environment as one that no longer felt supportive. And that difference shaped how the story was discussed. Rather than focusing on blame, a lot of the conversation turned toward boundaries, adulthood, and how friendships change after becoming parents. And for many people watching, the situation felt uncomfortably familiar. As fans continued digging, attention turned to who Ashley might have been referring to. Ashley never named anyone in the essay. However, fans online began pointing to a well-known group of celebrity moms she had been publicly associated with in recent years. Those names included Hilary Duff, Mandy Moore, and Meghan Trainor. Again, this identification did not come from Ashley herself. It came from fans comparing past photos, public appearances, and social media activity. Shortly after the essay gained traction, a new moment added fuel to the conversation. Hilary Duff's husband, Matthew Coma, shared a spoof magazine-style image on social media. The post included language that critics interpreted as mocking Ashley. The post was later deleted. Matthew Coma did not issue a public explanation for the deletion. Around the same time, Ashley's husband, Christopher French, posted a separate message online. His post referenced not wasting energy on negativity. He did not mention names, and he did not reference the essay directly. Fans quickly connected the timing. Once again, no one involved directly accused anyone else of wrongdoing, but the combination of the essay, the social media changes, and the posts from both husbands pushed the story into a new phase. At that point, what had started as a personal essay had clearly become a public situation. As the situation became more public, fans started revisiting the group's history. Old photos and posts resurfaced, showing Ashley Tisdale, Hilary Duff, Mandy Moore, and Meghan Trainor spending time together over several years. From the outside, the group had been viewed as friendship goals, successful careers, similar life stages, and children around the same age. Ashley's essay challenged that image. Readers pointed out that the contrast between public appearances and private experiences is often where these situations become painful. Importantly, none of the other women publicly responded to the essay itself. That silence led to mixed interpretations. Some people viewed it as an attempt to avoid escalating the situation. Others felt it left Ashley's account uncontested in the public eye. But legally and factually, the only first-hand account remained Ashley's own words in the essay. Everything else was observation, reaction, and interpretation. And as more people weighed in, the story began shifting away from celebrity gossip and toward a much broader conversation. Ashley's essay started circulating in parenting spaces, not just entertainment news. Mothers across different age groups began sharing similar stories of friendship changes after having children. Many said the most relatable part was the lack of confrontation. No arguments, no clear ending, just distance. Commenters pointed out that adult friendships often end quietly, without closure, which can make them harder to process. Ashley's decision to describe the situation as toxic also drew attention. She did not use the word lightly. She explained that the environment affected her emotional well-being and sense of belonging. Readers noted that she framed the choice to leave as an act of self-protection, not retaliation. This framing mattered. Instead of asking who was right or wrong, much of the discussion centered on whether people are obligated to stay in friendships that no longer feel supportive. Some fans praised Ashley for walking away without publicly attacking anyone. Others felt uncomfortable with how quickly the internet tried to assign roles like victim and villain. What remained consistent was that Ashley's essay struck a nerve. It wasn't just about famous people. For many readers, it mirrored real experiences they had never talked about publicly. And that is why the story continued to grow, even without new statements. As the days passed, one detail stood out to a lot of observers. Ashley did not walk anything back. She did not soften her language, she did not add clarifications, and she did not suggest the situation was misunderstood. At the same time, she also did not escalate it. There were no interviews expanding on the essay, no follow-up posts explaining who did what, no attempt to control the narrative once it left her hands. That balance is part of why the story stayed in circulation. From a factual standpoint, the only confirmed account remains the essay itself. Everything else exists in the public space as reaction. The other women named by fans have not addressed the essay directly. Their silence has not been explained, and no official statements have been released disputing Ashley's description. Because of that, coverage around the story has stayed careful. Most outlets have framed it as one person's experience rather than an accusation. At the end of the day, this story does not come with a clean conclusion. There was no public argument, no official fallout announcement, and no resolution played out online. What remains is one person's account of why she chose to walk away from a friendship group that no longer felt healthy for her. Everything else has been reaction, interpretation, and observation. Ashley Tisdale shared her experience. Others stayed silent, and the internet filled in the gaps. For some people, this story is uncomfortable because it feels familiar. Friendships that fade without explanation, groups that quietly close ranks, and the realization that sometimes leaving is the only option. So now we want to hear from you. Do you think situations like this are being overanalyzed, or do subtle forms of exclusion deserve to be taken seriously? Is stepping away without confrontation a sign of maturity? Or does silence create more questions than answers? If you want us to keep breaking down stories like this in a way that sticks to the facts and avoids the noise, make sure you're subscribed. We'll keep watching what unfolds, and we'll be here when the next chapter writes itself.